Broadcasting live from the mixed-up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament 2019/2020 edition. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is WolfLink0370. Hello, how are you doing?
Good evening, everyone, and I'm doing pretty good myself, Dr. Bob. Tonight we have WeightyWords versus BigDunka. This is a Game 2 race, and the settings have not been changed. We're going to have a normal open mode 7-7 race here between them two. Last seed, from what I hear, didn't go that well. Oh, WeightyWords struggling to finish that one sub 2. And This time we're going to have hopefully a good race here between these two. Maybe Dunka can come back, make this a Game 3. If Dunka loses, though, he is out of the tournament. This is a round 3 match. It is single elimination throughout the rest of the bracket.
Yeah, and of course, this is not the first time that these two runners have faced off in this tournament. They both faced off in the winner's bracket of their group. Weighty was victorious in that one, went 2-1 over BigDunka, and then BigDunka came back in the tiebreaker to get back into the tournament. But they face off here again, and one of them's going home either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, and
this is in fact the round of 16. Yes.
Yeah, and the road to the round of 16 has been pretty smooth, really. Both of our competitors went 2-0 against their respective opponents, getting to this point. So this is Dunka's first loss in the bracket stage. Let's hope that he can also put a dent in WeightyWorld's perfect record as well.
Yeah, I do love me a Game 3, so I'd be perfectly happy to see BigDunka win. But of course, I'm not going to, root directly for either of them. As we get underway.
Both runners starting in Link's house and both getting 20 rupees. That's an okay start. And both are also going up to what looks to be Uncle. Map check, 2 pendants in the light world. Desert is green. Hera, I believe, was blue. And we have a crystal over in Eastern Palace.
Yep. I think it was crystal number 1. Not that that really matters. But the point is, it's not 5 or 6.
The guards seem to have bombs in their drop table, so I think I need to farm them for a little bit.
Yeah, very nice to get early bombs. Speaking of early bombs, there's WeightyWords picking up bombs from the uncle, and BigDunka doing the same. Now, WeightyWords going out to get the chest out here, getting a green rupee, and both runners will again be heading to the sanctuary,
where a piece of art is waiting for them. So there's a few things the runners can do from here. Most commonly, they're going to head over straight to Kakariko, maybe check the Lost Woods as well. I've seen some runners decide to say, okay, I'll just walk around and see if agate's required. And really, 2 pendants in the light world, ooh, that is kind of an interesting tale. There's not that much that locks those 2 pendant dungeons.
Well, desert can be a particular pain to get into, but unless you just get the book.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like BigDunka is heading up to check this rupee crab, getting a bunch of rupees from it, and will also be heading to check the lumberjack. So I was not expecting this from BigDunka, but here it comes.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of gross. A sword on the lumberjack cave.
Wow. The hoarder crabs are pretty good.
So the ways to get that lumberjack cave, of course, requires you to beat Aghanim 1. Well, you require at least 1 sword for that. So that sword is definitely not the first one.
Yeah, and we saw in WeightyWords that the rare drop from the crab, there's just something you don't see that often. You have to get a certain amount of the items in order to get it. And it's a bomb.
Nice.
So if you're efficient with the crab grinding, you can get a bomb plus like 150 rupees. It's pretty easy.
Speaking of 150 rupees, that's the amount I like to come into Kakariko with if I don't have any bombs. And they've got that by quite a bit, so they'll be able to pick up the bottle vendor item And, you know, if they somehow need it, they could purchase some bombs on the way out. I doubt that's going to be a thing.
I doubt it as well. No, because they have so many bombs, really. If they had maybe like 2, I could see them purchasing bombs, but no, they have like over 5. They have more than enough for the early game.
Well, Blind's Hut didn't have much for us other than a shield for fans of projectile defense.
I mean, I'm a fan of the fire shield, but not much else.
Yep, well, you gotta go through this shield to get there, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
Or blow 500 rupees in a shop that no one ever visits.
Well, it's standard, anyway. Or standard play.
Yeah, throw an entrance and you're just like, what?
So far, nothing really good in Kakariko.
I just see in chat one of these runners' potential opponents next round
Ooh.
just joined us. And we got a lamp.
Early lamp. Man, that feels like there's something suspicious about the seed already. There's our move pro as well.
Pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you just joining us, BigDunka was had the opportunity to make a change to the settings, but elected not to do so. So this is exactly the same as the default settings that we had yesterday.
Oh man, BigDunka's buying bombs here, and we just found the 10 bomb pack in the back of the bar.
Gonna be a little bit of salt coming out here.
Rupees out of the library in the meantime.
I'd be like, you kidding me right now? Right, and arrows at the race game, so no dice there. I imagine our next goal is the South Shore area. It's a pretty ripe spot for picking.
Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy to go into escape right now, even though we do have the lamp for the Dark Cross chest.
So BigDunka's going for the race game right away, not checking it. Gonna be a little disappointed, but it doesn't lose you that much time, and it has the potential to save you a decent amount of time as well. So I like to play either way.
Yeah. Alright. Dam did not have much for us inside, but maybe there's something in the water outside as we drain it.
And then, of course, there's the 5 items next door in Mini Moldorm Cave, which is what we're all here for. Ooh, but the bottle is pretty nice. That does give us access to the sick kid in Kakariko.
Free red potion, too, so they could do the camera break glitch over in House of Darkness later if they so choose.
And Weighty continuing to farm rupees like his life depends on it. And, I mean, it doesn't, but your efficiency might, because you could throw in Zora with a fake flipper here if you get enough money.
That's probably what WeightyWords is thinking, actually, with the Moon Pro, just getting everything out of Zora as best as they can. Good to see the Moldorms cooperated there.
Piece of hard boots.
Glove!
A glove. The warrant.
And the money
and
needed for
300
Zora.
rupees. Okay.
Well, that's opened up a fair amount on the map.
Well then, I'm kind of expecting a good old-fashioned fake flipper here.
I'm expecting Water Walk, actually, with the boots.
Yeah, you're probably more accurate there. Though you could see him try to set up both in hopes of getting the ledge item.
The Water Walk storage, yeah, that would actually be brilliant to do. Alright, let's see here. Is setting up the water walk.
On the edge. Yep. Like you do.
And being very careful here. Looks to be setting up the fake flipper storage.
Very nice.
He needs a bomb here so that he gets on the pixel.
Yep. Bomb for perfect strats. And in we go. I don't think he's looked at the island over here. He might do that on the way back, or he might just decide to check it later.
Alright, so what WeightyWords has done, for those who may have not seen this before, he's done something called water walk storage. He's stored his water walk state he set up in the ice rod cave with his boots, and then did a normal fake flipper as we get a sword there. So now he'll be able to run in the water here.
Yeah. I guess Weightty had no real intention of saving it for the ledge.
That makes sense. Although there is a way to set a fake flipper out of there, but it probably doesn't work with the transition.
Not with the items they have is the problem. Like you can do like some splash deletion if you want to, but you need a bow or like a boomerang and some cane and shenanigans.
Well, I'm saying there is a way you can do a normal fake flipper out of that room. It just requires a very exact position.
Oh, okay. Oh, you mean out of the hobo? Yeah, you could definitely re-fake flipper out of hobo. That's for sure.
But he wanted the speed here, which makes sense, as he's also found the Quake Medallion in the waterfall, we should mention.
Yep.
Duncan, meanwhile, checking the boots locations. And the glove. And, wow. All those rupee grinding. All for 1 rupee. And we already knew where the other one was.
That is some good old-fashioned scam right there.
Indeed.
Speaking of scams, heading to Death Mountain now. Not sure what that has to do with scams, but we'll find out, won't we?
Well, this is the only other check that's currently in logic. WeightyWords can do escape.
I mean, they could both go to Eastern Palace. That's a whole chunk of stuff over there.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, WeightyWords could theoretically do escape, but that's what is not in logic. And another bottle from the old man.
Now, BigDunka, I want to think that BigDunka did not elect to go to Dark Cross via the back like WeightyWords is doing.
Well, he had to kill the rat, and bombing the rat is like the true final boss of this game if you've seen the old standard tournament.
Ooh, you know what? I'm a huge fan of Blue Mail, but I don't know if anybody else is.
I mean, armor upgrades are nice to have early on. Alright, so Weighty's gonna check the front of Hyrule Castle. Whereas BigDunka is gonna be heading over to the eastern area, which is the logical access. As a reminder, WeightyWords' sword was on Hobo, so he's currently going to be using it out of logic. With the exception of the I was about to say, yeah, with the...
You can still go here without the sword in logic. That's fine.
Yeah. You just have to stock up on a bunch of bombs.
Oh my god.
Oh! So, WeightyWords, folks, have found the bow in escape. Hammers. One of the 2 progressive bows. Meanwhile, Dunka has found Darkworld access with the hammer at Sahasrah's house.
Oh my.
2 bits of big progression back to back.
So I'm not gonna lie. I commentated a race for WeightyWords and BigDunka during their group matches. We had a similar situation where one of them checked escape early, got a thing, and then one of them saved escape for the very, very last.
So we had a map check there. Meyer was the other pendant, And Desert, or no, Ice Palace it's a vanilla 5, crystal 5, and Turtle Rock is the other important crystal we need to collect. Well, they're all important, but that's one's unlocks the super bomb. Hive Cave, giving us the Book of Adora and another Sword of Links in Zelda Cell.
Wow. Okay. It's good on Weighty that he didn't immediately think this was Aga. Because I would.
And with the sword, with the Master Sword now in hand for WeityWords, gonna be heading into fighting the Armos Knights, it looks like. Can full clear the dungeon.
Alright, Weighty picks up the hammer as well. And BigDunka is going to check the pyramid right now. Further solidifying the notion that it's going to be a while before he goes to escape.
Now here's where Weighty's gonna start pulling ahead here, I feel. Or at least start getting advantage. With the hammer in tow, and with the boat and the lamp as well, he can opt to full clear Eastern, and because we know that Pot is also a crystal, he can go to the Darkhold right over here and go finish off Pot as well. If that's what he ends up doing.
Hey, there's that fire shield you were talking about.
Heck yeah.
Let's go. Alright, BigDunka's checking our catfish friend.
Alright, Catfish, what do you have for us today? Anything good? Kind of? Magic powder's not bad.
I mean, I'm going with 10 out of 10, but, I mean, that's just me.
Well, it really depends on, what the Magic Bat has now. Yeah, it really depends on what the Magic Bat has, but survivability is always nice to have, no matter what you say to me. So far, nothing to come out of this Eastern dive.
Alright, there's a big key, so... And the cool thing about this is we have seen 2 items already. It means if we see an item in this big chest, we can skip the big key chest.
Ah, but it's the compass.
Rip.
Gonna opt to fight the
skipping
boss.
the big key chest. Doing it anyway.
Magic Bat, the pattern's been turned in immediately for the shovel! What?
So, is there a chance that you might wish to do a fetch quest?
I have a feeling that Dunka is following the longest chain of events that is just going to be a wild goose chase. Alright, sick kid. Yeah, just some explosives. Alright. Armos Knight. Looks to be setting it up. And that is a quick kill. For the map.
And there's an item in the big key chest.
Yep. But the first crystal match, 17 minutes and 20 some odd seconds in.
For a second there, I thought BigDunka was going to go check the pedestal for us, but looks like not so much right now. Going to get some magic there. Nice awareness. I would have completely not noticed my magic situation at that point. And WeityWords, as most of us expected, is going to just go straight from Eastern into Palace of Darkness.
Well, currently, Weighty does not know the Piles of Darkness and Crystal, we'll obviously do a map check. There's no doubt in my mind.
Right. It'll happen eventually. Though I imagine Weighty intends on going to pod either way, because he's got the bow and the lamp and the hammer, and it's full clearable, and he wants to do it anyway because there's 5 items. So
yeah,
there's that map check.
BigDunka checking the central chest here of Skullwoods. Didn't get anything of importance that I saw.
Alright, so BigDunka heading into the front of Skull Woods while WeightyWords is checking out Palace of Darkness. So I'll expect quite a few keys on either side, to be honest, but way more in pod.
Indeed. The front half is usually loaded with at least 4 small keys.
Yeah, I believe you will always have at least 4. Sometimes 5, very rarely 6.
Pinball chest having a key. That is actually a rare sight here in version 31. Now that it's available to be anything in the Skullwoods item pool.
Yeah, certainly not guaranteed, that's for sure. Though with three small keys in Skullwoods, it's still, you know, fairly common.
And it looks like both items in Skullwoods are in the back half fire rod lock, so
yeah, or locked behind the big key, but either way, we know that's going to be in the back either otherwise.
Yeah.
So yeah. And welcome to everybody coming in from Speed Gaming. Once again, this is the second game between WeightyWords and BigDunka in this match. WeightyWords took the first one and can advance to the round of 8 with a win here. BigDunka looking to even it up at 1-1, and no settings were changed for this match, so this is the plain old open seed like you're used to seeing here on Speed Gaming.
yeah, and already there's been quite a few divergences here in the first 20 some odd minutes.
Bow was in the very first chest of escape. The map chest is the technical name for it.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. We've got a hook shot in this chest game.
That's always a nice find, really. And it is a required find because we do have to do Swamp Palace at some point. We do need those flippers, however, as one of our swords is in fact locked behind them. That's one of those swords Weighty has, the other one being in Zelda's cell. Mechanic Burna, nice invincibility item. There's the fire rod.
Oh. Okay, so we're picking up stuff, you know, left and right here.
Pretty much.
Not quite as important things on the pod side, but BigDunka is picking up some really powerful items.
That's Weighty's second bottle. Comes with a free blue potion. That's actually quite potent.
And the Titan's bits! Good lord!
And there's the flippers, so the swords, all the Weighty swords are in logic.
Is this go mode yet?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, wait. No, we still need a mirror.
Definitely still need an ice rod.
We need the mirror, the ice rod, the Cadus of Aria, and maybe another medallion.
The Quake medallion, so that could be a thing. But yeah.
Ooh, this is getting very exciting all of a sudden.
Whew. So yeah, I was worried about, BigDunka not having the bow, but now he's got a big old chunk of items from this area. Now, I don't imagine it'll be long before WeightyWords heads to Thieves Town, but who knows?
Well, here's the conundrum. With all these checks, BigDunka will be pushed away from Hyrule Castle, which currently is our only known bow location.
Yep. So if you're hoping for Dunka to take this to Game 3, you're probably going to hope to find what would be considered, quote, the silver arrows, or the second progressive bow somewhere along the way. Yeah, we do definitely need the Kenu Samaria as well. Ice Rod, Fire Rod, which Dunka has.
Yeah, so currently
and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, currently we're missing, I think, just the Ice Rod, the Kenu Samaria, and the Mirror. Or also maybe Falmos or Ether, depending on if those are what the medallion is for Turtle Rock. Other than that, I don't see much else here, so it's going to be an item hunt for those last 3 items, really. Dunka leaving that chest behind must have already got all 4 items out to his item counting right.
Apparently so.
Yeah, he's got a map compass and the small key is missing in action. So he's found all 4 items.
Wait, he has map compass?
No, he does not.
Oh, okay.
So map and compass are in the big
confused.
chest.
Right.
Either the map and compass is the big chest, whatever's not there is on the line here. And this is gonna be a hammer blind fight, which is not the easiest thing to do.
A 4-heart hammer blind fight. I am concerned.
I wouldn't be.
Oh, he's got a red potion. That helps.
He has 2 red potions. Old man gave him a second one. There we go. Definitely needed that potion.
Alright, WeightyWords making his way out of the Palace of Darkness area after completely clearing out that dungeon. Did manage to find the flippers, so certainly worth it. And BigDunka is now heading south. And we're gonna head to that digging game. The thing where you use a shovel.
Speaking of which, we haven't seen one that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thought. We both thought the same.
Get out of my head, man.
Both. But yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed if it's not the mushroom. Just gonna put that out there right now.
Dig up the truffle. That would make sense to me. But regardless, the mushroom has
a pig and he's burying them, so. Anyway. But yeah,
the shovel has not been checked yet, which could lead to progression later. Don't know yet. WeightyWords will be getting the powder though, which puts them on the ad sort of chain.
And we've got some simultaneous save and quits. BigDunka doing it again, changing his mind.
Dunka's probably going to go the south route and check the shovel, yeah. Going to the Stumpy, as we call him. Remind him to do the digging spot. And if this is something like the mirror, that is kind of a huge advantage for Dunka, I'll have to say.
Mushroom, mushroom, mushroom.
Bombs.
Aw. Rip. Rip the dream. And WeightyWords picking up the book. Now, WeightyWords can do potentially some extra things with that book once he gets the hook shot as well. Because he has 2 swords, so he could check that ether tablet if he ever gets back up to, or over to Death Mountain. Once he gets the hook shot, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's gonna go to Village of Outcasts, of course. Alright, a full heart from the Smith.
Oh, that's right. Someone's mentioning your point in chat. WeightyWords did leave an item behind the Eastern. That could be something immensely important to the progress of the seed.
Yeah, that'd be pretty gross.
He's being checked out by BigDunka.
Just a big 20 there, so we will be heading elsewhere.
I mean, it makes sense for Duncan to start checking East Death Mountain here. Alright, it's time for Paradox Cave. The most item-dense overworld location in the game, I would like to say.
I will concur with that. The only place that's really more item... Hey, look at that.
Gate of Samaria. That's one of our 3 missing pieces of Go mode, as far as we know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only location at all that's more dense than this would be Ganon's Tower.
Yeah.
And you're not doing that right now.
No. Also, Ganon's Tower would technically be considered a dungeon. I said overworld.
Right. Yeah. What I was saying, it is the most in the overworld, and then the only one that would beat it otherwise, right, would be Ganon's Tower. But yeah. So it's like second most in the game, most in the overworld. Anyway, enough of that technicalities and words. Who needs them? BigDunka now headed for Tower of Hera. So BigDunka will be able to check the contents of Ether Tablet.
And can choose to ignore it if he's so inclined. And today, Ether Tablet is 10 arrows.
Sticks.
So the hookshot presents a unique opportunity for BigDunka, one of our newest tricks that we've discovered somewhat recently. Or at least allowed for Randomizer.
Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty well-known trick. It's just that there wasn't really good setups for it until recently. But yeah, the Hera pot coming up here, I imagine BigDunka will probably just piecing right the heck out.
Bad check.
It is a pendant dungeon.
That's heart piece on the pedestal, folks. Sorry for all of you who wanted to see a pet seed. It was fairly unlikely though with a Misery Mire pendant, to be honest.
Yeah, basically it was Ice Rod or whatever his medallion was for Turtle Rock. Maybe Mirror. but none of that was happening.
Yeah, because we need to have the flute to be available for the pedestal to even be remotely considered.
So, not gonna lie, just based on what I'm seeing here, my inkling is that the mirror is in desert.
That would make sense to me as well, yeah. Mirror could also be in Hera, the upper floors, because I don't think... Yeah, Duncan just ignored going for the big key, which is in the basement, unfortunately. And yeah, there's a lot of places the mirror can be. The only thing we can say for sure is Ice Palace, or not Ice Palace, though, Swamp Palace doesn't have the mirror.
That's very true. This is not a no logic seed. Or entrance. I have got the mirror in Swamp and entrance before, and that's always fun.
Alright. Medallion required to enter Turtle Rock this seed is Quake. We do have the medallion we need for this seed.
Yes, but unfortunately, BigDunka does not.
No, he does not.
BigDunka declined to fake flipper and does not have the flippers from Pod. There's that mushroom we were talking about. Also got a blue
There's the other bow!
And the other bow! Oh my goodness, BigDunka bailed out by Hookshot Cave.
He's not bailed out just yet. He still needs 2 swords, and as far as he's aware, there's only one that the only one that's available is Aga Tower, but that also requires a sword.
True. Alright, I imagine this will be BigDunka heading to Pod and Eastern. Probably in the opposite order.
No. He's gonna...
So Eastern and Pod.
Yeah, Eastern Pod.
Yeah. I said Pod Eastern, and I meant to say the other way around.
Yeah, that's the normal way you would want to do this, is going Pod first and Eastern. But
due to lack of mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the big thing to note here is there is an item in the big key chest here in Eastern Palace. If Duncan checks it, and it is something immensely important, like the mirror, that is a huge disadvantage put on WeightyWords, because he's already finished Eastern. When will he ever go back for that? I would say never. Almost.
Yeah. Well, we will see if BigDunka goes for the big key chest, or if both of them leave that item behind.
And just to remind everyone in chat here who may not be familiar with the changes to version 31, BigDunka and WeightyWords have the bow now. They have 2 different bows because the bows are now progressive. If one of them goes to the other location, they'll get the silver arrows.
Second bow was in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, our first bow was an escape in the first guard checkpoint or the map chest, whichever you prefer.
And judging by the way this is going, I imagine Weighty will probably end up picking up that second bow. Somehow Weighty's still only on 6 hearts. Alright, BigDunka, where are you going? Oh, he's skipping it too.
Now I kind of want this to be progression. Just to see how long it'll take both our runners to go back to it.
Alright, so WeightyWords, having picked up the hookshot in Thieves Town, or in the chess game, and a bunch of other junk in Thieves Town, Fire Rod, Titan's Myth, etc. He's then probably heading to Skullwoods, because I don't think he's even been in there yet.
No. And we haven't seen the items in Skullwoods either, which BigDunka actually didn't go into, which does make some sense. Without a sword, can't really go fight the moth.
So Weighty's probably just going to go back and finish right now. May go ahead and do this room first, because it's kind of on the way.
Yeah, it makes sense. Unfortunately, Kate Samaria is not up anywhere near here, so can't use that instead. BigDunka is leaving the item in Easter behind. I was hopeful that he would actually go back in.
Well, I mean, either way, we'll have something to talk to the runners about later.
I mean, if it's something important, they're probably going to last location that item over there, having both abandoned it. So this would be Master Sword, Fire Rod, Moth. And unfortunately, the Gindos are in the enemy group that drops the full magic. We just saw one drop. WeightyWords unfortunately did not pick it up. It was a little too far out of the way.
Weighty is sitting on 2.5 hearts. I imagine there's some potions still sitting in his inventory, but... Ugh.
Yeah, Weighty still has the red and also a blue potion he found elsewhere.
Oh yeah, there was one in pod, that's right.
I'll probably chug it if he takes another hit.
Yeah, anything in this room will deal 1 heart of damage to Weighty right now. I mean, assuming it could possibly hit him, which it's not. Interesting. So the big key there.
So, item in the big chest, item underneath the bridge in the back. So let's see what we got here in Skullwoods.
Well, so much for my guess on the mirror.
Alright, so Ice Rod, and for us, it'll be no mode.
Yep. That is also, like, basically the best possible outcome that could have come from that check. It's like, oh, I got the mirror. I don't have to walk back around. Thank you.
It really is, yeah. And the best part is, WeightyWords isn't in the Smith chain yet. You can route in checking the caves off of the grove, also known as Cave 45. You can check Graveyard Ledge.
I will tell you what he is doing, though. He is abandoning an item in Skullwoods.
Yeah.
He didn't check the big chest. We know that's where the other item is.
Well, he can always come back to Skullwoods later. That is a relatively fast check.
Yeah.
Unlike the big chest.
I don't mind. Yeah. I don't mind orphaning that. Yeah, so
it really
gonna get King's Tomb check, which we already saw.
Yeah, and if you think about it, the mirror unlocks so much. You'd be a fool not to follow it at this point.
I imagine at this point he's kind of got that compass in his head pointing him towards swamp, and he wants to get there as soon as possible.
Yeah, he does have everything for it.
Alright, Graveyard Ledge, which is what I find to be one of the least favorite locations for basically everybody. BigDunka clearing out pod, gonna get the big key, the cane of Burna back here, but we know the flippers are coming up with the big chest.
There's that blue potion. That is the third bottle now for Dunka. One more still out there we haven't found yet. Wonder where it could be. And yeah, this is the full Smith loop.
Yep, the full Smith chain.
Which we haven't seen the purple chest yet. That could be the ice rod for all we know.
Yep, purple chest. I mean, again, now that we know where everything necessary but the ice rod is, we are now in a scenario where all bets are off logic-wise. Like, you can't really use any of your knowledge to guess where the ice rod might be, because it's completely out of anybody's hands, except of course on Trinex or behind it.
Yeah. So basically, it can't be a Pyramid Fairy, it can't be on Trinex himself, and it can't be in Ganon's tower. Those are the only places off limits in this seed. It could be in Misery Mire for all we know. And we need to find the flute.
Nah, Lumberjack check was a sword. It was not the ice rod. Alright, BigDunka heading to go face off against Helmasaur King. WeightyWords checking K45, just a bunch of bombs.
And to answer a question in chat here, BigDunka hasn't really fallen behind. He's just been staying more closely following the logic. WeightyWords immediately finished the South Shore with the fake flippers, and then found, as a result, a sword. And then found a second sword and one of the two progressive bows in Escape. BigDunka has not been there yet, does not have a sword. But
Alright, so
on the other
WeightyWords, go ahead.
But on the other hand, BigDunka has the other progressive bow, which was found in Hookshot Cave.
Now, WeightyWords, you'll see, left the purple chest sitting there in the woods. We were recently informed that if you mirror in the talking range of the chest lockpick, as long as the chest still exists, you can get it. Or apparently you can get quite a bit of distance on that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's got a fair bit of range. Helmasaur down for BigDunka. And here's our first look at the bottom seven. First look at the desert at all, even. Oh.
And well, I hope you don't want to see Link's face for a while.
I'd rather not see my reflection in that shield either, to be perfectly honest.
We've already got another mirror.
Exactly. Alright. Agina. Very rarely checked location. Usually isolated. Today, only 50 rupees. BigDunka might be thinking Ice Palace, but no, he's about to get his very first sword of the match here on the Hobo.
Yep. This one's going to be actually logically available for BigDunka. And Weighty electing not to check Desert Palace, even though he's got the book, just because Weighty has yet to check any of Death Mountain.
Yeah, and the fairly safe odds that Weighty wants to go into Palace of Darkness. Or not Palace of Darkness, sorry, Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I imagine Weighty, once he checks Paradox Cave, because I imagine that'll happen sooner rather than later, he will want to go into Turtle Rock. He may even like full dive it looking for the ice rod. That's something I've been known to do in the past. We're getting bees from our waterfall fairy.
Yeah, BigDunka picking up the Quake Finale now as well, so does now have access to Turtle Rock. Actually, he didn't even have access to Turtle Rock even if he had Quake, because I just remembered you need a sword to cast the Quake spell. Alright, so BigDunka did not climb Tower Hera. Let's see if Weighty does, looking for the second item. Both runners have really been cutting corners here and there. Even them often leaving a single item behind. It's been kind of weird this seed because of it.
Yeah, these runners are leaving a lot behind compared to what I normally do, and I guess that's why I lose.
I mean, if you're in an item hunt mode, you don't leave a single item behind. That's my policy.
Okay, so Weighty is going to go upstairs, it looks like.
Yeah, setting up the bomb strat. That looks good. There he goes. So it can only get one item here because the second item is in... Or can't get the item in the big chest.
So it's this and Moldorm that you can get up here.
Yeah, it's only Molder now. The small chest with the compass.
Alright,
Now,
so BigDunka taking his sword and his fire rod to the back of Skull Woods to get his mirror eventually.
Now, if the item is not here on Moldworm, I can understand WeightyWords leaving the second item behind completely.
Yeah. I mean, if he left behind the Eastern Palace Big Key chest, well, it's a bug net, so either way, not terribly important.
I mean, combined with the powder, you pretty much have berries on demand, so another sort of safety. And this may be... yes. Fighter
Alright,
Sword Moth,
Spike
meanwhile.
Cave. Yeah, the Fighter Sword Moth with hammer strats is also a spectacle. We've got spectacles on both sides here, though I guess we're not technically in Spectacle Rock. That we're a little bit far off for that. Just
so,
a big 20 for WeightyWords.
This is Dunka's moment here. He may get the big key chest on his way out. But we do have a moment here, folks. I'd like to give a shout out to our tracker, Yoinkier's wife, for keeping those items up to date for us down there, and keeping us honest here as well. Oh, doing an excellent job of the items tonight.
Alright, BigDunka just acquired the mirror. He's gonna check the pedestal, it looks like.
Makes sense, hasn't done this yet. And there's the cane of Samaria for WeightyWords. WeightyWords is now the first sword runners to have be one item out, I think. Or no! No, Duncan still needs another sword, never mind. He knows where one is. So.
Oh, imagine doing
Aga for your second sword. You know, he has to know there's another one out.
When there's one in the cell. Oh my god!
Oh, that is the game changer Dunka needed. That is the ice rod in Skullwoods, which WeightyWords left behind. We are now in no mode, folks.
Ice rod there in Skullwoods. Second chest. Speaking of which, what is this, V26? With a bunch of items in Skullwoods? Anyway.
I don't know. But here's the thing, folks. BigDunka is not in go mode. Unless he goes for the Aga play. He needs another sword before he is officially in go mode.
And he would actually need a cape to do the Aga play. So.
Exactly. And we do know that a sword exists in Zelda's cell. BigDunka has not been in that section of escape yet. And as we also know of a third sword on the Lumberjack, which requires Aga 1 to be bested. There's only one new sword out there, and BigDunka needs to find it if he wants to have a Master Sword without going to escape. There's silvers now for WeightyWords.
Now, you do not need a Master Sword to use a medallion. You simply need a sword to use a medallion. You need a Master Sword to activate the tablets which contain the medallions.
Yes.
You can try this out because it's possible to get the Quake medallion without the Master Sword in the original game, with shenanigans.
I just thought of something bad. What if they both left the sword behind in Eastern? What if the 4 swords in Eastern Palace in the big key chest?
That'd be pretty funny. Alright, Weighty is opening up Turtle Rock. And, I mean, he wouldn't be doing this if he didn't have an intention to go in.
Yeah, we know, unfortunately, the Ice Rod's not in here, but if the 4th sword is, that's going to prove, I think, interesting in some degree. Maybe the, I don't know. Jungle would have to go to Turtle Rock and hope that it was a sword of GT and just be lucky and find it on the way.
Now, as far as WeightyWords goes, we know he's going to have to double dip this Turtle Rock at this point. Probably going to clear all the way to Laser Bridge and not get anything. But, the Skullwoods big chest, if you're going back to pick up things you orphaned, it's okay as far as things that are orphaned. So I wouldn't count out Weighty at this point.
To answer the question, chat, does Aga 2 require Master Sword or just Ganon? It is Ganon that requires the Master Sword. But even with the Master Sword, you can't use slashes on Ganon. You must do spin attacks. So ideally, our runners would like the Tempered Sword.
Alright, looks like BigDunka is gonna head through Swamp Palace, checking, a few checks here and there. The stuff that's convenient. Probably not gonna check left side.
Well, he might. He's looking for that sword.
I imagine he'll probably just skip left side, but he's been checking everything else.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the right call to make.
Bombos in Turtle Rock.
Well, now we know where one of the other medallions is. Okay, BigDunka is on the turn-based battle that is Hammer Argus.
Yeah.
A lot of times what I like to do in this particular scenario is charge my sword and use spins, because you'll basically always get a double spin and hit it twice.
Yeah, BigDunka is playing it safe though, which is a reasonable play. That buddy's right on WeightyWords. That is the best. Alright, BigDunka is setting up for an Argus fight. Uses 2 shots of fire and misses! Gonna have to resort to spins now. There we go. So I think the worst thing that WeightyWords can find here in Turtle Rock is the flute. If he finds the flute, that might make him think that Misery Meyer has the Ice Rod, which could lead him on a Wild Goose chase. BigDunka, meanwhile, will be heading to Ice. This is going to be a very magic-intensive dungeon for him because of the the fire rod. And it seems my co-com has stepped away for a little bit. Hopefully he will be back soon. Alright, this has to be a small key, so there is a small key on Laser Bridge for WeightyWords. Meanwhile, the Pain Gator room here for BigDunka. Heart container. As far as Duncan knows, he is a cape or another sword away from Goma. We know where another one is, but he has not gone to escape to claim it.
Sorry about that. Had a minor emergency, but thanks to the magic of wireless headphones, I was able to hear everything that was going on, so I'm back.
Alright, there's a small key for WeightyWords here on the bridge. But yeah, flute would be devastating for WeightyWords to find. If anything, I'd like to see the fourth sword right here and now. Not in Turtle Rock, which is actually a good thing, because that could mean it's loose elsewhere. Unfortunately, because of where the ice shard is. I don't think Weighty can save the portal.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Yeah, he has to go back in the Dark World.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you either have to save and quit or mirror, and yeah, either way you're out.
So yeah, just using the mirror portal to check the spiral cave because he hasn't done it yet. So Dunka has...
Yeah.
So yeah, Dunka has full magic right now. He needs to not miss a single shot in order to break through Cold Stare's ice armor.
Ooh, gets a little bit bodied by the ceiling there. And the puffs are loose.
Yeah, this is the worst case scenario for Dunka right now. He'll have to resort to hammer strats. He does get at least one double hit, though, but this is a very difficult fight. He does have another red push to back him up, though. Second puff is down. Third puff's down. Very nice recovery there. Oh no! There's the flute in Ice Palace!
Oh no. That could send WeightyWords down a rabbit hole.
Well, if he goes there...
I mean, Weighty will probably go to ice after Swamp, I would think.
But BigDunka is just as likely to go to the mire area to look for the sword.
That's possible. I imagine if I were BigDunka, I would go for GT and hope there's something there.
We know where two of the three remaining swords are for Dunka are. One's on Lumberjack, which no one has claimed. One is in Zelda, which WeightyWords has. And then there's just one loose that we don't know where. It's that sword BigDunka is hoping to find.
BigDunka is running over to the potion shop. He's going to go ahead and turn in the mushroom just because, you know, he's here. I imagine the actual intention here is to buy a potion on account of having, you know, fighter sword.
Buying a bunch of potions even. Looks like he's going to stock up on blue.
And the reason he's not activating the flute is because he's only taken this one trip over here. He doesn't plan on coming back. And it takes a little bit of extra time to do so. And he's hoping to find that sword in GT. If he finds the sword in GT, it won't hurt him at all. If he doesn't find the sword in GT, he probably should have opened or got the flute activated.
Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, you know, 22 chests in the basement, five additional ones. You know what? BigDunka might open the big chest of GT.
You know what?
Oh my god.
I would have put it past him, but I think the most logical play for Dunka at this point, after doing GT, would be to check Hyrule Castle, which he will find his second sword eventually, and the silver arrows. So, this will work out one way or the other eventually. At least, that's what I'm hoping. But Dunka is most definitively in the driver's seat now, as this is the final dungeon he needs to clear.
So yeah, I figured the only way that BigDunka actually checks GT, or checks the GT big chest, is if, like, the big key is vanilla. But I think if it is, he does, because it's right there. And, you know, unless he finds a sword before that as well.
I'm hoping he finds a sword in GT and then checks Castle.
Yeah, I think after finishing GT, his next play will probably be to check Escape, and that would do him some good.
Yeah, because right now, BigDunka is looking to do what we call a Master Sword Silverless Ganon, and that is the absolute slowest way you can fight Ganon because you have to do spins up every time you want to damage him with your sword. And it'll be 24 spins in the final phase without silver arrows.
Alright, BigDunka is heading to the torch room over here. As always, taking care of business first.
WeightyWords is going into desert, it looks like.
Ooh, that's an interesting situation. Again, we might see a sword here. You never know.
If a sword is here, then Dunka will only find the Master Sword available to him in Zelda's cell. Which I think is the best case scenario for Dunka, ironically, because he'll find the silvers along the way. And yeah, to catch everyone up to speed, WeightyWords abandoned the big chest in Skull Woods, and it turned out that was the ice rod, which would have put WeightyWords in go mode. And that's something. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so I have this thought experiment for you. Imagine you're BigDunka, and you get through Ganon's tower, and you haven't found a sword, but you did find the cape.
I check escape first. Because you can go all the way down, mirror, and then if you didn't find a sword, you can go find it Aga 1.
So, yeah, it boils down to, do you go looking around hoping to find a quicker sword, or do you go to the one where you know exactly is? That's just going to take a long time. It's an interesting decision, and I don't know what the right answer is. I know what the right answer is in this case, but again, that's just the fact that I have, omnipotence or omniscience here. Hey, there's our bloomerang.
So once again, to bring everyone up to speed in regards to the swords here, BigDunka and WeightyWords both have a sword that was on the hobo. WeightyWords also has a sword that's in Zelda's cell, and there is a third sword on Lumberjack Ledge behind Aga 1. The fourth sword has yet to be found yet in this scene.
So yeah, BigDunka is looking for a sword, WeightyWords is looking for the ice rod, and we know that the ice rod is in Skull Woods. BigDunka skipped the entire WeightyWords skipped the entire front of Skull Woods, so it's gonna be a bit before he goes back there. I kind of expect him to do Ice Palace first, to be honest, which again might lead him toward Misery Mire area.
At this point, WeightyWords is thinking it's Green Pendant. That's why he's doing Desert Palace right now. And here come the Lamolas, and there go the Lamolas. 1, 2, 3, done.
Nicely done, Silver Strats on land.
There it is! The fourth sword on the Lamolas!
Gross.
So we know that the only swords where all four of the swords are, and Dunka has to make a choice. Does he go to escape to get a sword when he's done, or does he find the cape, try to look for the cape, and go get the one on Aga and the Lumberjack Ledge?
Well, we'll see what BigDunka does. I imagine if BigDunka finds the cape in Ganon's tower, he'll have an interesting decision on his hands.
And yeah, this is the last crystal boss here, folks.
Now, I haven't been here since they've installed the new bot, so I don't know how to start it.
Neither do I. But when we do get it started, folks, make sure to get your guesses ready, because we're going to be only having maybe about 30 seconds between catch to barrier opening.
Alright. I think people have started doing their guessing, and the bot hasn't actually fired off.
I think I had to start it. Let's try that. I'll try. I wasn't sure if I had the ability to do it. Yeah, I don't think I do.
I'm pretty sure I do. And it's time. Get your numbers in. 22 locations. Where do you think the big key of Ganon's tower is? And good lord, I imagine every number is already taken at this.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, let's hope for it to be... I want it to be behind ice armors, just so that you can have your wish and checking the big chest for this.
I do want to see the big chest checked. It would be great.
Now, as a side game, folks, and don't put your numbers in chat for this. Just give us some actual words. Where do you think the cape is in Ganon's tower, if it's there? Because that's going to be one of the deciding factors Duncan will have, because he is still on Fighter's sword.
Alright, BigDunka entering Ganon's tower. It's time to find the big key. Alright, he's going left first. We find a full heart on the torch. Not interested.
That could be Saint card, actually. I don't think we found that yet. WeightyWords is going to ice. This is actually the worst thing he could have done. Unfortunate for him. At the end of this dungeon, he will find the flute, which will make him potentially think that Misery Mire has the ice rod. Three, 4, 5, and 6. No, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, he has not done hope for him yet.
And there's the big key. This time it's chest number 7.
Alright, and he's gonna go up. He's just gonna get Ganon open at this point and start looking around the overworld.
So not checking any of the basement. That's an interesting call, but I get it.
I think he
So that probably means escape is coming right after this, and he'll be in good shape.
Yeah. Escape makes the most sense out of all the checks. Because he's right there. And if he was going to do Aghanim with the cape anyway, I would say he would do the escape first, which he would have got rewarded with the sword regardless. Because you're already in that section of the dungeon. It wouldn't be too much to go down to Zelda's cell and mirror and then go fight Aghanim if you didn't find anything important. Which we know he will.
Now, I don't think that BigDunka actually came over here in Ice Palace. I think he mostly go-moded it.
Yeah, WeightyWords is definitely doing a full clear of this. He went left first, did the bomb jump, and is going around now.
There's a reason BigDunka bought 3 blue potions before coming up here, because he's going to put them to very good use.
Indeed.
Alright, BigDunka finishing off Landmo 2 and heading up to face the rest of Ganon's tower. I imagine BigDunka will check the 4 chests on the way up. That would be silly not to.
There's
Hey,
the fourth bottle. So this is actually kind of an exciting moment here for these two, because going into this top 16 match here, neither of them had lost a game to their opponents beforehand. BigDunka took his first loss here against WeightyWords, and BigDunka is going to be looking to return the favor here as well. So looks to be a game 3. This is going to be a very exciting end to this series, I think.
Now, it all depends on how long it takes BigDunka to find a sword, but we are expecting a check on escape right after this, and that would basically do it for him.
Yeah. Currently, we had no one that, for Dunka, is K-Block. There's half magic.
I will take that.
One is K-Block behind Aga 1, and is on the Lumberjack. One is in Zelda Cell, which is the fastest one BigDunka can get, and then there's one on the Lammolas.
Yeah, I expect him to go to escape, which will also net him the silver arrows, so he's going to be, pretty happy camper if he heads that direction.
And the ironic thing is, WeightyWords had the sword advantage this entire seed, and yet Dunka is still looking to win this race.
It all came down to the fact that WeightyWords skipped the entirety of the front of Skull Woods, and therefore did not find the ice rod in the big chest.
Yeah, could have been a very different race had that been the case. And now with the flute in hand, WeightyWords is probably going to start checking the Mire region for his ice rod. As we fight Aga here. I think that was only 1 hit, maybe 2.
So there is the possibility that WeightyWords, while he's activating the flute, might check Skull Woods. It isn't terribly likely, but it is possible.
2, 1, 3 for BigDunka. And with Aga 2 down, it is not yet time to fight the pig. He needs a second sword. He cannot deal damage to Ganon with the fighter's sword. But Ganon's fight is now open to him here on the pyramid. Alright. Dunka, where are you going? He's doing a save and quit. WeightyWords is fluting away to check the Mire region. Dunka is saving quitting again. I think he chose the wrong save point.
I think he might have assumed he activated the flute.
Yeah, he's starting on the flute. He might think the sword's in the Misery Mire region.
Oh boy. Speaking of the Misery Mire region, WeightyWords checking this out.
Single arrow.
There's that single arrow that everybody loves.
This is going to be a long one, I feel. Dunka was so close and yet so far to finishing the seed. All he had to do is go through the front half and escape. There's the Ether Medallion.
Nice.
And we missed it, but Bombos was apparently required to enter Misery Mire.
I mean, I think Weighty's probably gonna enter Misery Mire here.
But I think they're both going to enter.
Okay. So at this point, it looks like the most likely sword for BigDunka to pick up is the one that's on Landmola's?
Yeah, ironically. And he's gonna miss the silver as a result, so it's gonna be Master Silverless. Oh man, this is insane. Checking the desert ledge and going to the desert.
Okay, BigDunka heading into desert. This does look like a play that might just put the nail in the coffin for WeightyWords. I hope everybody's hyped for a game 3.
I certainly am after this.
Both runners did, in fact, check the pedestal at one point. That is true. So
Yeah,
they're both aware that it's just a piece of heart. Alright. BigDunka finds a compass.
So he knows the one item's on the Landmola's at this point.
And acquires the big key. Quick mirror, and we'll see if he decides to get the big chest. He does. It's a little bit quicker to check the big chest than to go to Landmola's, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And if you're just looking for one thing, getting the quickest item you can is usually the best call. You're looking for one thing that's like not restricted by where it could be. Yeah.
Okay, going back in the portal.
Doesn't mean he's going Mire.
No, he's gonna check.
Looks like he's going to.
Checkerboard.
Yeah, checker.
There's the Ether Medallion he's not picking up. Losing his portal.
Checking Agina. Oh, good lord. Skipping the boss.
He is just... BigDunka and WeightyWords are just dancing around their respective progression. This is actually very humorous, I must admit.
And BigDunka saves and quits out of Agina's cave. Okay, so where's he going now? Is it escape? Is he going to escape? No. Maybe? I don't know what this is. Bombo's tablet?
Super Bomb. Which would put him in front of Hyrule Castle.
Yeah. Yeah. So you do the super bomb into escape. That's a great play. I like it.
Will he follow through as we hope, though? That's the question.
Oh, I mean, if you're standing right there and you know there's 3 items sitting there in escape, you're going in.
We'll see. Question, chat, do you want to see Kevin Periphery? Maybe, actually. You might think to check out the entirety of Escape before fighting Aga. That's my point I've been making. And he knows that there's a guaranteed sword on Aga.
Pyramid Fairy would be just rude.
WeightyWords, meanwhile, is going to go ahead and check Left Side Swamp after finding nothing of importance in Misery Mire. 20 rupees. And another 20 rupees in Pyramid Fairy in the meantime.
Okay, BigDunka using the mirror.
There we
in
go.
the courtyard of Hyrule Castle. Are you going north? Yes. Okay, I think BigDunka. Yeah, he's gonna go down first. That's good for him. I believe he hadn't actually checked Dark Cross.
I don't think so either. I think Dark
Yeah, 'cause
Cross was
that-
actually our
That's
Or,
where the other
Red
mail
Veil.
upgrade was. Yeah. All right, so a nice little consolation prize for BigDunka. Going to pick up the silver arrows here. But the real prize he seeks is down where Zelda usually starts this game.
WeightyWords is heading over to the left side swamp. A very common skip of locations here, because they are relatively out of the way. Take a couple more minutes to over clearing the dungeon.
I'm waiting for Cape to be on left side swamp just to spite us.
Where is that cave now? I'm kind of curious. Could be in the big chest here for all we know. Could be.
I mean, it's really likely to be in GT at this point, but who knows?
Yeah.
Alright, a silver arrow taking down the...
And
Chain
now,
Guard.
finally, BigDunka is now in go mode. He is now eligible to fight Ganon.
Oh, this is going to be probably the quickest go mode to done that we've seen in a long time.
And it could have been so much quicker, if we may be honest.
Alright, it's now time to fight the pig. Master Sword, finally, and the silver arrows in hand. BigDunka will have to do 12 spin attacks per phase in order to advance Ganon to phase 3, after which 4 more spin attacks will do it. They have to be spin attacks. Ganon is immune to Master Sword slashes. After we get through phase 3, it'll be the darkness in 8. Keep the torches lit, spin into Ganon to stun him, and then let loose 4 silver arrows to win the day. If he did not find the silver arrows, it would have been 24 spins with Master Sword.
Mm-hmm. I like to, as I'm doing Master Sword Silverless, count through the cards in a deck.
And we are now on phase 2 of Ganon. Each one of Ganon's phases, he does a different attack. This is the Fire Bat phase. First phase was Titan phase. If you don't see the spear after teleport, you're in phase 3.
And BigDunka got the, was down to 1 heart there, but made use of that potion at just the right time.
Oh my goodness. Weighty is checking the missed item he missed in Eastern.
Oh my goodness.
BigDunka is down!
Oh no. Oh dear, BigDunka takes a death on Ganon and runs back in.
Master Sword Ganon is one of the most difficult fights in the randomizer you could do. Good position here. We'll get a couple of extra hits. Phase 2 should be starting up fairly soon. There it is. BigDunka only has 1 potion and the Cane of Burner for invincibility. And a drawback to the Cane of Burner is you cannot do spin attacks.
Yeah, so there's really no point in trying to do that mess. But some hook shot strats here for temporary invincibility certainly don't go amiss. BigDunka also making use of this position against the wall to get some double spins in.
Yeah, essentially doing 2 hits at once. 300 rubies for the chest we've skipped this entire time in Eastern Palace.
Well, at least we found out what it was.
Indeed. Good position here for the fire shield. This could be the end of phase 2. WeightyWords
about
looks to be
right.
heading to Skull Woods.
Oh my goodness. I think WeightyWords is probably going to find the ice rod right about when BigDunka hits the dot done.
Alright, so the teleports are seated. They have been shuffled a little bit since BigDunka died. They would have been the same otherwise between both players. Alright, one spin attack, one silver arrow. Torches are now darkened. Again, it is invincible while the room is dark. Another spin, a double, one more. Ladies and gentlemen, BigDunka has tied up the series. Get your GG's in the chat for him. Very long road to the finishing that scene, but has now tied things up. This will go to a game 3, in which the loser will be eliminated. BigDunka officially finishes in first place with a time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 11 seconds.
Well done to BigDunka. That's going to be 1-1 for this series. Evening it up. We will see another race tomorrow. It sounds like BigDunka has joined us, or somebody's joined us.
Yes, it is BigDunka. WeightyWords is attempting to hover meanwhile. GGC BigDunka. That's the sword for in a very interesting spots, weren't they?
Yeah, hi everybody. That was your
And
standard
there's the ice
race.
rod and a little bit of laughter in IRC. And as of this point in time, WeightyWords is officially forfeited from the race. So yeah, WeightyWords missing out on the ice rod. If he didn't do that, he would have been in go mode. And you did not get the sword that he found in Zelda Cell. And the fourth sword you actually dodged as well. That was on Lamola's.
Yeah, I mean that was a normal. There's nothing special about that one. That was pretty normal, right?
Yeah, exactly. There was nothing wrong with this seed at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's your typical standard. You know, everything's kind of right there. So in my brain, I had Cape.
Oh no!
So
That makes sense.
No!
I made the conscious decision when I got the ice rod that I was going to check chests on route all the way to GT, and if the key was up top in the first few chests of GT, I was going to just skip the basement and I was going to do Aga, because I knew Aga was going to take about 2 or 3 minutes to do everything. It was probably still going to be faster than going through everything else to try to find a sword that might not be there. And then I get out there and I go to use my cape and it's not there.
Oh my goodness. That has got to be the worst thing that you can think of. Sounds like we're going to be joined here by Weighty.
Yeah, GGC WeightyWords, good effort as well.
Thanks.
Now for Weighty, this actually was a normal seed. It was an ice rod hunt. That's what
Good old ice rod
was
hunt.
this.
Yeah. So I didn't technically purposely skip the front of Skullwoods. I was gonna check it. They got the mirror in the back, and I was like not expecting to get that mirror, so my brain just went to do how am I gonna route the overworld, because I wanted to do Smith's purple chest with that mirror. So I just like went past it, and while I was doing those checks, I remembered, oh crap, I forgot about Skullwood's front. And what's the odds that that one item is
And it turned out to be the big game changer that BigDunka needed to tie things up. You did find the other swords, though.
Yeah.
So, thanks for giving us that information. Because Dunka, meanwhile, did not actually do the front of escape until the very end of the race.
Yeah, I was watching back the restream. It sounds like it's a hilarious kind of ending to that seed.
Oh yeah.
That is just nuts, man.
And you both left behind similar checks.
Yes.
You both left behind the Eastern Palace Big Key chest, which ended up being 300 rupees. I think you both left. No, I think you did actually go up the top of the tower.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of was hoping that it would be a quick check. So
Yeah,
It ended
Big
up being a
Dunka
quick
skipped
check because of the
rush tower.
Harapot. So, yeah.
And by the time you both got to got down to checking, all right, it's got to be a Misery Mire. You both were in that area looking for your go modes.
Yeah, so I thought that, like, I felt so good when I found Flute on Cold Stare, and then I realized that Bombos was for Mire, because Bombos was in Turtle Rock, so I was like, if Ice Rod's in here, that's amazing, I feel so good about it, but it wasn't in there, so...
Oh no.
Yeah, and Weighty, for the early game, you actually had a very good advantage because you did do the fake flippers, which got you that first sword on Hobo, who got you the Quake Medallion, and so you didn't have to come back to Turtle Rock later to reopen it. It's just that Ice Rod tripped you up. That's all there was to it.
I would also say that the existence of these, what would you say, the progressive bows really helped out Big Dunka here, because that first bow was sitting there in escape for a while, and Weighty picked that up early, and if that second progressive bow wasn't going to be available, Big Dunka would have had a much different seat. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, and obviously you're fortunate to find it when you do, but where was the first bow? I don't remember.
First bow was in the map
escape.
chest of Escape.
No, the first
You
one.
picked it up.
The one that
Oh,
I got first.
Hookshot Cave.
Oh, Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot Cave, right.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
God, yeah, that would have been so different.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess. So it was. If this had been V30, it would have been a much different seed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
much.
didn't even think of that.
Let's see. What else did we have? What other wonderful things did this seed give us today?
The fourth bottle was an ice. Never did find the actual cape that Big Dunka thought he had.
It disappeared.
We're assuming it's somewhere in GT, but who knows?
No, it's cloaking itself somehow.
I think it
Oh,
has
okay.
to be in GT, because I think I checked every other location. So...
I think so as well.
I will say I'm a little disappointed though, because we were thinking that Big Dunka you might have ended up checking the big chest of GT if you were in there still looking for a sword or the cape. I'd have been like, oh man. But apparently that wasn't the case.
No, I mean, the plan was to go do Aga at that point. It really was. I really wanted to.
And not check the front of Escape before going up the Aga, or just going straight there, beeline.
Oh, by then I was panicking. It was just sheer panic, and I figured, at that point I might as well do Fat Fairy at the same time, and I'll just route everything in. But yeah, at that point it was just absolute panic. So yeah, there's no explanation for that at that.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
evening up the series here, guys. Are you guys sick of playing each other yet? This is like your
This
fifth
has
match.
been a very fun series between the both of us.
Yep.
Take yesterday out of the equation. Yesterday was kind of an
Yeah, game 6 for us. It'll be tomorrow, so...
And
And
WeightyWords, I'm going to ask this question of you. You have the option. Are you going to make things different?
I have submitted for 6-6.
All right.
6-6.
Good old 6-6.
I'm a fan of the 6-6. Not gonna lie, I'm a fan.
Yeah, sounds like it'll be a good time for both of you. And good luck to you both. You're now on one game. It's now do or die for both of you. And hey, you also broke each other's perfect bracket streak.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's true.
All right,
here's-
so anything else you guys would like to say before we wrap it up here?
You guys prepare for tomorrow. If anything is, if these 5 races have been anything, the ice rod will be hidden like inside of the cape, so you can't actually see it.
The
Along
some
with the keep
seeds,
hiding
yeah.
itself
These
somehow.
seeds have been so weird, so bad.
Well, once again, GG's to both of you for giving us an excellent race here. Very hilarious ending, although I don't think it was intended. Make sure to give these two here a follow in chat. They did an excellent job for giving us a good race here. Also, make sure to give my co-com Dr. Bob Tastic a follow, as well as our tracker swipe as well. And of course, we're on Speed Gaming too. Make sure to give Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 a follow as well, so you don't miss any racing action, not just Link to the Past Randomizer. And speaking of Link to the Past Randomizer, we also have our own Twitch channel series, Link to the Past Randomizer and Link to the Past Randomizer 2 through 5.
And of course, thank you to Wolflink0370 for also providing excellent commentary here today and covering for me while I had to step away for a bit. Thank you very much. And
Indeed.
Make sure to follow this guy as well. I don't know how much streaming you do, but you deserve.
I do my own fair share. Speaking of which, though, in terms of races, I should probably mention that we don't have any more races for the tournament here tonight, but tomorrow on Speed Gaming 1, starting at 7:20 a.m., so set your alarms, I guess. Vanta versus Doomtap. The winner of that race may be fighting the winner of these two right here come tomorrow. We might know then and there. That'll be at 7:20. And then join us later on the day for Goomba versus Yoshi. Yeah, I believe that will be game 1. That'll also be on Speed Gaming. And, of course, your match will also be featured here once again. Yes, same time tomorrow. So, also on Speed Gaming for WeightyWords Dunka Game 3. And, of course, there's a couple more matches across the day, and they will let you know. But it'll all be on Speed Gaming tomorrow. Well, that all being said and done, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. So, all of us here are Link to the Past Randomizer, or 2019-2020 tournament. I have been Wolfling0370, and we just see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
See you later.